It's time to meet another one of my friends. So without further ado, please welcome to the screen cabaret and vintage performer, producer and motormouth, where is she? Dawn Gracie!
Hi!
Darling, how are you? You're looking fantastic.
Oh, I just woke up like this.
Tell me when the phrase motormouth first appeared in your life. How old were you? Was that a while ago?
From the womb, I'd say.
Before birth?
Yeah, probably about 10 years ago or something. I developed this skill for talking a lot.
Well, listen, I've got 3 questions for you, so you can answer them with as many words as you like. If you're ready right now, Dawn Gracie.
I'm ready.
Okay, Dawn Gracie, your first question is, what is your recollection of our first meeting?
Okay, well, our first meeting, I actually did something quite unusual. I have been hosting cabaret shows in the south of England for quite a few years, and my baby is the Chichester Cabaret Club, and I always host my own shows, always, because, you know, I'm obviously the best at my own shows. However,
well, yeah, right.
It came to my attention, and I was like, I like the sound of this. And so I booked you to host one of my shows, and people were like, are you mad? We're going to miss you so much, Dawn. Well, annoyingly, you were really good. And what I remember about that incident, that time.
That's what I think of it as, an incident, very much.
Spend ages talking to performers about, you know, their introductions on stage, I look at their acts and stuff like that. But you were kind of like, you were really chilled about it and didn't need to know anything. And then, of course, I saw you chatting to everyone backstage, and then you had a little bit of peacetime writing notes. I'm like, this is strange. This is going to go very badly. And then you said something which made me fall in love with you massively. You said to me, do you need any prizes for any competitions that you do throughout the evening? Because I've got these with me. And I said, what size are they? My size. Thank you very much. So I stole them.
I did. I gave you a pair of shoes. You know, I bought them. I think I bought them that very day. See, I mean, frankly, if I couldn't go into charity shops and find out what other towns have to offer me, as far as, you know, other people's sloppy seconds, then I wouldn't do gigs at all. I wouldn't ever leave my house, like now, you know. So I always go to a charity shop. I get there early. I go to charity shops to see if there's any Denbigh, see if there's anything sparkly. And I bought these, but they're American, and so what I thought was a size 8. Is not a size 8 because it's American. So you're very well.
It says 8.5. I was like, I'm a 7, so I'm definitely having those. So I was very happy. So I was like, you are definitely someone I want to call my friend who gives shoes away. I mean, what's that? But the interesting thing was, just rewinding back to that, when I was doing the promotion for the show, I randomly saw my nephew, who is in his 20s, who's a professional musician in London, promoting something with Paulus. I'm like, is there more than one? What do you mean, Paul? And then, of course, it turns out that you used my nephew as a percussionist in one of your shows.
And I interviewed him about an hour ago for these vlogs.
No way!
Yeah, Tristan Butler, T Butler drums. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God!
He's one of the nicest, most professional and sweetest musicians I have ever worked with.
Isn't that annoying?
Quite a family. You're quite a family.
Honestly, my family are like the Von Trapps, although the Von Crapps, you know, I mean, we're just like, we're all very annoying. But yeah, Tristan's very talented, always has been. And I'm really pleased. He's a lovely guy. And he did a gig for me once in Chichester. And I needed a percussionist and a keyboard player. And he says, oh yeah, I can come down with a friend. And then literally said, oh, we're getting the train. I'm like, you're a drummer and a keyboard player? So they turned up at the train station, drum on back. And and we literally about 10 minutes rehearsal and then did a gig. So yeah, it's having worked for many years with hobby bands in my previous life, that was an absolute delight when I said, so do you know how to do a rock and roll song? And the look was like,
Do I?
Yes,
know?
I do. Oh, yes, he's really annoyingly talented.
Your second question, Dawn Gracie, is how are you keeping creative at the moment?
Well, okay, so at the beginning, I thought
there was the word, and the word was Dawn.
In the beginning, I kind of like got all like, well, everything's been cancelled. It took me a few weeks to process PayPal refunds and argue with PayPal because they decided to stop refunding their part. Don't get me started.
Oh, no, don't. They were awful, weren't they?
Don't
the way they behaved was dreadful.
Oh, anyway, they did revoke that in the end, which is very good. Well done, PayPal. So once I dealt with a couple of weeks of that, I then went back to a hobby that I hadn't done for years, which is Fimo, polymer clay. So I started.
Oh my God, did you make those?
Absolutely ridiculous things for no reason whatsoever.
I haven't heard the name Fimo since I was like 10 years old.
Well,
my brother used to make loads of things. They weren't like that. They were awful. Yours are brilliant.
I know, right?
And you bake it in the oven, don't you, Fimo?
Yes, you do. So that was one thing that I started doing. And then I started to get a bit itchy feet thinking I need to start doing something online. So I then started to learn streaming software.
Oh.
I know, and editing software and all sorts of stuff like that. And so I then embarked upon, I did a 7-week run of my Cabaret club online. So which was weekly, why not Wednesdays? And I decided I'd watched a lot of people doing shows. People were doing Zoom shows and live streaming and then beaming. I decided I would get pre-recorded videos which showcase performers in the best way possible rather than trying to connect to their home internet and it all being like that. So I presented them live and showed pre-recorded debut footage, which was brilliant. I didn't earn anything out of it. I basically got the tips and split it between all the performers. So I'm definitely going to go to theatre heaven for that. Also been performing weekly for some local charities that mean a lot to me. So there's a dementia support one. Aldingbourne Trust, which is a centre for adults with learning disabilities. And yes, I've been doing live Facebook singing performances. And I mean, I've done every theme that I never thought. I mean, I was doing Agadoo last week.
Tough times. These are tough times.
I never thought this would happen. And then weekly, because my mum plays ukulele, we've been doing a weekly Tuesday afternoon, 2:30 session with my mother. And yes,
that's my ukulele with me right now. This is Betsy. What's yours called?
I've got this in America. It's an Oscar Schmidt, which is a Washburn.
Have you not given them a name?
Oh, sorry, an actual name. Mildred.
Mildred is a good ukulele name. Now, your third and final question, Dawn Gracie, is What are you looking forward to doing that you can't do at the moment?
Okay, so what I'm actually looking forward to doing is to finally getting my hamstring injury looked at. I know. I did it at the beginning of the year, doing a very, very unsavoury move on stage. And and it's been giving me jip ever since. And I've been going out on the bike a lot, which is something I hadn't done for about 10 years. And it's been really playing up. So I'm looking forward to that. And quite selfishly, I just want a massage. I mean,
listen,
forget all you going out on the stage and connecting with the audience. Yeah, that. But I need a massage.
Massage is what it's about, really, people. Now, listen, guys, at home, we are running out of time, so don't forget to press the subscribe button for more like this. Now, sadly, Dawn won't be with me next time, but I will see you all next time.
If we're safe.
Dawn Gracie, you're a legend. I love you. Thanks very much, darling.